Hello everybody, and welcome to another kit build. Today we're going to finally be building the Velleman K7102 metal detector. In a previous rant I talked about how Princess Auto really messed up shipping me the kit, and my adventures in getting a replacement one, and Velleman went ahead and sent me a new one. So here's the new kit, and we're going to go ahead and throw it together. Not a lot of components, so I'll probably put it all together all in one video, except for the coil. There is a coil involved, and I have to wind it myself. I'm not going to do that on camera. It's going to be very time-consuming. There's a primary winding of 43 turns, and then a secondary winding of 120 turns. So that's going to take a while. I might make a time lapse of it or something, but I'm not going to do that right now. That's actually technically step one, but it would be difficult enough to put this together anyway with the coil attached. So we're just going to put the board components on first, and then I'll build the coil off screen and install it, and then we'll test it and see how things go. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start my soldering iron up here. That's interesting. It seems to have a deep sleep mode. So we're gonna get that heating up, and we're gonna start with just the low line components. So we'll start with the resistors. The first component we're going to put on will be this little signal diode, a 1N4148. Now I've taken and pre-bent all of these components with my little lead bender here. I'll link it down below for anybody that's interested. So this goes into the D1 position. Now you have to observe polarity with your diodes, so there's a little stripe here on the board, and we'll just match the black stripe on the diode up with the stripe on the board, and we'll solder that into place, like so. Oh, that tip's kind of dirty. Where's my... There it is. Just gonna clean off the tip of the soldering iron here. It had some gunk on it. I'll just quickly flow that on like so, and there we go. All right, the next component we'll throw on is this Zener diode. That's a 3.9 volt Zener diode, and it's going to go right here in the ZD1 position. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, I'm getting a lot of glare off of my lights. So we'll go ahead and throw that into ZD1. Again, observing polarity, black stripe matching up with the stripe on the board. There we go. All right, and now we're going to get into the resistors. There's just a couple of resistors here. We'll start with, naturally, R1. R1 is going to be a 330 ohm resistor, which is going to be orange, orange, brown. For those of you following along or learning your resistor color codes. I think I did a video on resistor color codes a while back, but I think I'll do a better one here in the near future. With my new Back to Basics playlist that I'm going to be starting up. The Back to Basics playlist will be a Patreon supporter exclusive video series, but only for the week before I release it on YouTube. So Patreon supporters will get the Back to Basics videos for a week, and then I'll release them on YouTube later. I'm going to be releasing those on Sundays, hopefully, assuming I can figure out enough content and figure out ways to make videos out of it and such. But I'm really optimistic about it. Anyway, I digressed. R2 and R3 are 470 ohm resistors, so there's going to be yellow, violet, brown. So we'll just put the R2 right there, and then R3, again, yellow, violet, brown. I'm going to go ahead and seat all of the resistors and solder them into place all at once. So R4 is going to be a 2.7k ohm resistor, which is going to be kind of a nice color combination here with red, violet, red. We'll just slot that into the R4 position. Then R5 is going to be a 10k ohm resistor, which is going to be brown, black, orange. So that's a 1, a 0, and 3 zeros for 10k. Alright, now we'll just quickly solder these into place. I gave this soldering iron a pretty lukewarm reception when I first started using it. But now that I've been in a situation where I'm having to use it heavily, I'm actually really quite pleased with the performance of this iron for something that only cost $60 and runs on a 12-volt power supply. Especially after I updated the firmware in a previous video, the function of the soldering iron is really quite robust. Alright, so that's all of the resistors soldering into place. Let's quickly crop off these leads. Nice shiny solder joints, clean. Alright, clip all this off. There we go. Just kind of swipe those off to one side. Alright, so the next series of components we'll put on are going to be the capacitors. Now the instructions are a little odd. C1, it says you can choose either a 1.2 nanofarad or 3.3 nanofarad capacitor. So it says to experiment for best results. So I'll just start with the 1.2 nanofarad capacitor. That's going to be 1, 2, 2. Oh, wow, I just totally smacked that thing. Sorry. Probably headphone users will be very displeased at that. Alright, so this is going to go into the C1 position, which is... Where the heck is C1? Oh, here it is. Looks like it's in parallel with the coil. That's interesting. I'll do a circuit analysis of the circuit diagram in another video. Let's see. Alright, so that's soldered into place. And the next thing is going to be C2, which is going to be a 47 nanofarad, which is 473. 47 and 3 zeros measured in picofarads. So we'll go ahead and put that one here. It's interesting that there's some extra holes here. It looks like they've given provisions for installing capacitors of different package styles. In this case, we've just got some ceramic capacitors. Very generic and stock standard. I'll clip these off. All right. And then we're looking at, well, we're actually looking at 17 minutes on the video, so I'm actually going to wrap it up here, and we'll start a second part of the video where I finish off the rest of this. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked, please give a like in the push the like button thing that's over here, down there somewhere. And if you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. Subscriptions have become very important with YouTube because of the way they change things, so please consider subscribing here. I'll put a video that YouTube thinks you'll like here. A link to the playlist for this kit build here, and please also consider maybe pledging a couple of bucks a month to my Patreon here to help support the channel and make it so I can buy more kits like this and do more projects and educational stuff. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next part.